My name is Dan Kitar from Thailand. In this video, I'd like to talk about the true Dhamma or Nirvana for early people who have the most wisdom. If you are a real person who want to attain Nirvana's life, you have to listen to me early. Because I have attained Nirvana for 19 years, I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain Nirvana's life as well. I'm ready, but are you ready? It's up to you. Let's take a look. The topic to speak in this video, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thoughts. Wow! Topic to speak in this video, I say depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thoughts. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? You know, the true Dhamma in Buddhism is a pure religion, it's universal truth. It doesn't have the fictional language to say. And the most important is there's no language to say. This is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language and content to create content and story to talk to you further understanding about the various idea or thought processes. Because the idea is how the principle of false suffering. Dhamma of truth or Nirvana. It's not possible to teach each other. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach each other because there is nothing to teach. There is nothing to teach. And the most important is there is language to say. True Dhamma in Buddhism is not in Pratipitaka. It's not in the teaching of Monk Arahant, but it's in your thought, it's in my thought. It's in your thought, it's in my thought. Can you understand me? You know, before talking about the topic to speak in this show, I say depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. What is that? Before talking about that, let's take a look. Let's take a look and memorize. Let's take a look and memorize. If everyone on this earth accepts the universal truth with wisdom that our true self don't really exist, when life's problems or suffering happen, all I said, they are caused by the thought process. While you are realizing your thought, the life's problems and suffering will fade away. Everyone in this world, whether you are religious or not religious, you must meet the universal truth which cannot be avoided. Just everything in this world is impermanent. It changes all the time, and most important is non-self. Wow! And let's take a look. Let's take a look. The universal truth is everything on this earth is non-self. The universal truth is everything on this earth which is impermanent because it's deteriorating all the time and cannot be controlled. And the most important is everything on this earth is non-self. The thought process are universal truth too. Everything on this earth is caused by the thought process. We use the thought process to live from birth to death. The word thought process sometimes we call the cycle of thought, which has no origin and destination and never end. You know. The topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can deal with it by being aware of your thought. Topic to speak in this video, I say, The topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. Why do you say that? Before talking about that, in this video, I like to break down the story in this talk into 3 episodes. Episode 1. The true self does not really exist. Episode 2. The thoughts have no owner. The thought talk to the thoughts. Episode 3. The highest wisdom for quenching suffering is thoughts aware. Thoughts are aware of the thought. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is suitable for only people who have the more freedom. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, when you listen to me, you must be broad-minded to listen and without pressure to me. When you listen to me, you must intend to listen seriously and try to understand everything I convey and consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain a nice life. Topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. The true Dhamma in Buddhism, we study only the subject of the mind. We did not study about the human existence because our true self is not really exist. What you see now, you see in the way you see, but you will try to believe what you see now is a man who is standing, a man who is walking. No, that at all. What you see now, you see in the way you see. I say, the story in this talk, the first episode is, the true self not really exist. From now on, I like to talk about the true self. The true self does not really exist. I said it, that is sounded, in reality. The language we use in everyday life, whether spoken language or written language, both of these languages is just the fictional language. Can you understand me? The meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. This is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you for understanding about the previous idea or thought process. The thought process is the heart of quenching of false suffering. I want you to understand about the thought process or the thought. Can you understand me? Episode 1, I said, the true self does not really exist. From now on, I like to talk about the true self. It doesn't really exist. Why do I say that? In reality, the true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach other because there is nothing to teach. And the most important is there is no language to say. As I told you, this is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first, sharing about a thought process. In reality, true Dhamma in Buddhism cannot teach each other because there is nothing to teach. Topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. As I told you, the meaning of the language we use in everyday life is just the fictional language. It doesn't really exist. I said it, that is sounded. Can you understand me? The language we use in everyday life, it's just the fictional language. It doesn't mean the language. This is the reason that I told you I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first and about the thought process. If you are a smart person, when you listen to me, you must be broad-minded to listen and without prejudice to me. You can rely on me because I try to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. Nothing more to say than it. Can you understand me? Topic to speak in this video, I say depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. The first episode, I say how to sell is doesn't exist. In this video, please believe temporarily the language I use in this talk is real. That further understanding each other in this video in order to not have to understand each other anymore. I say it is a sign that is Soviet, in reality. The meaning of the language is doesn't really exist. For example, I show you, for example, what you see now, you were taught to believe a cat. As soon as you see this word, which wrote a cat, there will be an image in your thought. Can you understand me? Because you were taught to believe. The meaning of a cat is means, but in reality, what you see now, it doesn't mean anything. You see in the way you see in the way you see. This is true Dhamma Buddhism. We call nature. What you see now is the nature. And what you see now, it doesn't mean human being. I show you like this. It doesn't mean a man who is standing. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. You see in the way you see. It's very easy to understand. You see in the way you see, but you were taught to believe. I show you like this. You were taught to believe. This is a man who is standing. And I show you like this. You were taught to believe. This is a man who is playing a guitar. What you see over here now from birth to death, you see in the way you see, you hear in the way you hear. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean material thing. It doesn't mean human being. It doesn't mean an animal, a tiger. No. It doesn't mean a cat. But you were taught to believe. You were taught to believe. In reality, you see in the way you see. You never use the language. Say to yourself, I see a cat, I see a tiger, I see a goat, and the goat say, bah! A cat say, meow, and a tiger say, like this. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach each other because there's nothing to teach. This is the reason that I told you I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you for understanding about the thought process. The thought process is the heart of cleansing of false suffering. Can you understand me? Episode 1, I say, the true self does not really exist. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. The story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most wisdom. The fool cannot stand in this talk because they lack wisdom and they don't want to understand it. Can you understand me? Episode 1, I say the true self does not really exist. As I show you, for example, I show you as soon as you see this verse which wrote that a goat. The meaning of a goat, it doesn't really exist, but you were taught to believe. Today we name it a goat. What you see now, it doesn't mean a goat. You see in the way you see. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, as I told you, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. Nothing more to study than it. Can you understand me? I show you, as soon as you see this word, which wrote that a goat, the word a goat, it doesn't really exist. But you were taught to believe. the word God is mean what you see now. But in reality, when you really see this, you never use the language, say to yourself, I see a God. You see in the way you see. This is true Dhamma in Buddhism. This is true Dhamma in Buddhism. Can you understand me? It doesn't mean a cat. You see in the way you see. Episode 1, I want you to understand. Our true self, it doesn't really exist. What you see over here now from birth to death, you see in the way you see, and you hear in the way you hear. Meow, meow, ba, 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 meow. Wow! You see in the way you see. You see in the way you see. Meow, ba, ba. Can you understand me? The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach in order because there's nothing to teach. And the most important is there's a language to say. As I told you, this is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first and about the thought process. The thought process is a harmony of all suffering. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. I don't teach you anything, but I talk to you. Every Dhamma teacher on this planet will teach you to believe every story they convey, and you will believe it. I'm different from the other. First episode, I say, our true self, it doesn't really exist. What you see now, you see in the way you see. It doesn't mean a man who is standing. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. It doesn't mean a guitar. It doesn't mean a cat voice. Meow, meow, meow. It doesn't mean a goat voice. Ba, ba, ba. Can you understand me? I said it doesn't sound real because you have never heard someone say it like me before. As I told you, when you listen to me, you must try to understand every story I convey and consider, as long as I said over and over again until it's going into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain nice flight. My name is Dan Gital from Thailand. I am Arahant in Thailand. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain nice life. The word Arahant means a person who can attain nice life. I have attained after 19 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain nice life as well. I'm ready, but are you ready? Topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. Can you understand me? Topic to speak. The first episode, I say the true self does not really exist. Can you understand me? What you see now, it doesn't mean anything. You see in the way you see, and you hear in the way you hear. But you were taught to believe this is a guitar, this is a man who is walking, this is a cat, a goat. Notice, where can I find the meaning of a cat? Where can I find the meaning of a goat? It's such the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. I said that is Soviet. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey. Where can I find the meaning of a cat, a goat, a bottle of water, a book, a guitar? It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Episode 1, I say, the true self does not really exist, as I told you. Everything on this earth is soulless, it's not an ego. Can you understand me? What you see over here now from birth to death, you see in the way you see. And you hear in the way you hear, we call true Dhamma in Buddhism. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is universal truth. Every story I convey in the video, I say, I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you for understanding about the thought process. Every story I convey in the video, I say, I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you for understanding about the thought process. I want you to understand about the thought process. The thought process is the heart of quenching of false suffering. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey and consider along as I said over and over again until it's going into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain a nice life. In this talk, I don't teach you anything. I say I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the language to create content and story to talk to you. You can rely on me. I try to tell you. I teach you for free, no charge. I teach you for free, no charge. Can you understand me? You can rely on me. Because I try to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. No one can help anyone. Episode 1, I say, the true self does not really exist. Can you understand me? What you see now, you see in the way you see. And what you hear now, meow, meow, ba, ba, or you hear in the way you hear. This is nature, I want to say. Nature is aware of nature. This is what you see now is nature. This is nature, nature, from birth to death. From birth to death. There is only the nature. From birth to death, there is only the nature. What you see over here now is the nature. I say, now, nature is aware of nature. It doesn't mean we are aware. But the topic to speak in this video, I say depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them. I say you can overcome. You know, in reality, the language, it doesn't really exist. But in this video, please believe temporarily that first understand each other in this role. The language is real, that first understand each other. In reality, the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. I say it doesn't sound it. I say, I have to borrow the fictional language to say, what you see over here now from birth to death, it doesn't mean anything. I say, nature, what you see now is nature, nature, what you hear now is nature, nature. It doesn't mean anything, it has no meaning, but we name it, This is a guitar, we name it, this is a bottle of water, we name it, this is a newspaper, we name it a goat, we name it a pen. Where can I find the meaning of the language? The meaning of the language is just the belief. The meaning of the language is just the belief, because you were taught to believe in the meaning of the fictional language. The meaning of the language is doesn't really exist. As I told you, I say, please believe temporarily in this video. The language I use in this video is real, that further understand each other in order to not have to understand each other anymore, because the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand this. When you listen to me, you must consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. Those who can understand it in this talk, it must become an individual. That how many people are there? I say, those who can understand in this talk, it must become an individual. That's how many people are there. The story in this talk is suitable for the people who have the most wisdom. The fool cannot understand in this talk because they lack wisdom and don't want to understand. In this video, I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first thing about the thought process. The thought process are on duty to think all the time. The thought process has no origin and destination. Where can I find the thought process? The thought process is just the word. It's just the fictional language to say. The first episode 1, I say the true self does not really exist. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand this. No one suffers, no one is happy. The word suffering, the word happiness, the word suffering, the word happiness. It's just the meaning of the fictional language. Where can I find the meaning of suffering? Where can I find the meaning of happiness? Ruminating, repetitive thought, depression and anxiety, anger, suffering, happiness. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey. If you can understand it, I believe that. If you can understand it, I believe that. You can overcome depression and anxiety. You can overcome suffering. You can overcome anger. And finally, you can attain the this life. I say, if you are a smart person, if you are a smart person and can understand this talk, I believe that you can overcome anger, you can overcome depression and anxiety, you can overcome suffering, and finally, you can attain this life. I don't see you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk you first and about the thought process. Everything is caused by the thought process. Can you understand me? Everything on this earth is caused by a thought process. Suffering, happiness, depression and anxiety, anger is caused by the thought process. Where can I find the meaning of our true self? Where can I find the meaning of a cat, a goat, a bottle of water, a guitar? Not at all. Where can I find the meaning of our true self? It's just a belief. Where can I find the meaning of my son? It's just a belief. My wife, it's just a belief. This is my happiness, it's just a belief. My daughter, it's just a belief. This is my suffering, my wife, this is my happiness. My daughter, Arahant said, it's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you further about the thought process. Episode 1, I say the true self does not really exist. When we believe that this is our true self, when we believe that this is our true self, there will be many things to follow, such as my wife, my suffering, my daughter. This is my suffering, my wife. This is my happiness, my son. As I told you, it's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. The meaning of the language, it does really exist, as I told you. But please believe temporarily, the language I use in this talk is real, that for understanding each other in order to not have to understand each other anymore. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach each other because there is nothing to teach. And the most important is there's no language to say. This is the reason that I have to borrow the language to create content and sorry to talk to you further understanding about the thought process. The thought process creates everything on this earth. Can you understand me? The thought process creates everything on this earth. If you are a smart person, when you listen to me, you must be broad-minded to listen and without prejudice to me. I don't teach you anything. Topic to speak in this video, I say depression and anxiety are not mental illness. Depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can deal with it by being aware of your thought. Episode 1, I say, the true self does not really exist. Can you understand me? What you see right here now from birth to death, you see in the way you see, you hear in the way you hear. It doesn't mean anything. What you see now, we call nature is aware of nature. In the idea of true Dhamma, in Buddhism, what you see over here now, we call mental phenomenon or something which happened to the mindful awareness. We call nature. What you see over here now from birth to death, we call the nature. Now, the nature is aware of nature. This is nature from birth to death. There is only the nature from birth to death. There is only the nature. Can you understand me? Okay. From now on, to listen particularly to the explanation for understanding, I like to talk about the thought process. Episode 2. The thoughts have no the owner. The thoughts talk to the thoughts. Episode 2, I say the thoughts have no the owner. The thoughts talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. I say it as salvation. I say it as salvation. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey and consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain a nice life. In this video, I don't teach you anything. I try to help you. You can rely on me. I teach you for free. I teach you for free, no charge. Can you understand me? Episode 2, I say the thoughts have no the owner. The thoughts have no the owner. And the thoughts talk to the thought. The thought talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. What you see over here now, it doesn't mean anything. But in this video, please believe temporarily. The language I use in this talk is real. That further understanding is other in this video. In order to not have to understand this other anymore, I said it as that is salvation. What you see now, what you hear now, meow, 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 from birth to death, there is only the nature. Nature is aware of nature. As I told you, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, from now on, you must try to understand every story I convey. From now on, you must try to understand every story I convey. I believe that if you are a smart person, you can solve life problem in this life. You can overcome depression and anxiety in this life. I believe that. Okay. Let's take a look and memorize. Let's take a look and memorize. The suffering is caused by 1. Not wanting what is possible, which cause suffering, such as not wanting sickness, not wanting old age, and most importantly, not wanting death. 2. The need for something is difficult or almost impossible, which causes suffering, such as need to be the most happiness, need to be a millionaire, need to be a famous person, and so on. 3. Hunger is suffering greatly. If there is no food to eat, we will die. Again, let's take a look again and memorize. Let's take a look again and memorize. The suffering is caused by 1. Not wanting what is possible, which causes suffering, such as not wanting sickness, not wanting old age, and most importantly, not wanting death. 2. The need for something is difficult or almost impossible, which causes suffering, such as need to be the most happiness, need to be a millionaire, need to be a famous person, etc. 3. Hunger is suffering greatly. If there is no food to eat, we will die. Can you understand me? Can you understand me? I say the suffering is caused by not wanting what is possible, which cause suffering, such as not wanting sickness, not wanting old age, and most importantly, not wanting death. 2. The need for something is difficult or almost impossible, which cause suffering, such as need to be the most happiness, need to be a millionaire, need to be a famous person, etc. 3. Hunger is suffering greatly. If there is no food to eat, we will die. Can you understand me? Aha! No one can help anyone. No one can help anyone. I say the suffering is caused by, as I told you. Let's take a look and memorize. Let's take a look. When we believe that this is our true self, there will be everything that belongs to us following, such as 1. This is my true self. 2. This is my wife. This is my son. This is my treasure. This is my suffering. This is my happiness. This is my repetitive thoughts. This is my ruminating. This is my depression and anxiety, and so on. I say, when we believe that this is our full self, there will be everything that belongs to us following. When we believe that this is our full self, there will be everything that belongs to us following, such as this is my true self. Where can I find my true self? It's just the belief in the middle of fictional language. This is my wife. Where can I find my wife? The word my wife is just the meaning in the fictional language. It doesn't really exist. This is my son. This is my treasure. This is my suffering. This is my happiness. This is my repetitive thought. This is my ruminating. This is my depression and anxiety. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. As I told you, I said, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must memorize. You must memorize. When we believe that this is our true self, There will be everything that belongs to us falling, such as this is my true self, this is my wife, this is my son, this is my treasure, this is my suffering, this is my happiness, this is my repetitive thought, this is my ruminating, this is my depression and anxiety, and so on. Wow, already said. It's such the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. You know, the story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most wisdom. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand it. Sorry, I can't wait in the video. I say you can rely on me because I try to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety in this life. The story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most wisdom. The fool cannot understand in this talk because they lack wisdom and don't want to understand. If you are a smart person, I believe that you can overcome depression and anxiety in this life. I believe that. And let's take a look and memorize. If you want to overcome suffering, overcome anger, overcome depression and anxiety, including if you want to be successful in everything in this life, you must be broad-minded to listen about the thought process. I teach you for free, no charge. Aha! Why did I say that? Hey, well, I'm a friend stranger in the black sedan of your home inside my car. I need your love to create God in heaven. You know I love you. Da-da-da-da. I've been waiting for a girl like you come into my life. Yeah, waiting. I don't want to more. Just kidding. I say, if you want to overcome suffering, overcome anger, overcome depression and anxiety, including if you want to be successful in everything in this life, you must be broad-minded to listen about the thought process. You must be broad-minded to listen about the thought process. You must be broad-minded to listen about the thought process. And I say, I teach you for free. No charge. สอนฟรีนะไม่เสียตังค์ I say I teach you for free no charge สอนฟรีไม่เสียตังค์มีที่เดียวในโลก My name is Dankita from Thailand. I'm Arahant in Thailand. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain right life. I'm ready to help everyone to solve right problem. I'm ready to help everyone to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. I teach you for free, no charge. I teach you for free, no charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look at more life. No. Life problems, depression, rumination, repetitive thought, anger, all of these are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of these are the cause of suffering. Positive or negative thoughts is such the belief. It doesn't really exist. The process of continuously thinking about the same thoughts is the thought and has no the owner. Don't be afraid of it. I know you have probably never heard of it. You know, I say, life problems, depression, rumination, repetitive thoughts, anger, all of these are not suffering. Again, life problems, depression, rumination, repetitive thoughts, anger, all of these are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of these are the cause of suffering. Can you understand me? Again, life problems, depression, rumination, repetitive thoughts, anger, all of these are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of these are the cause of suffering. Positive or negative thoughts is that the belief it doesn't really exist. The process of continuously thinking about the same thoughts, the process of continuously thinking about the same thoughts is the thought and has no the owner. Aha! I say it has no the owner. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. Can you understand me? Don't be afraid of it. I know you have probably never heard it before. I said it that is so weird because you have never heard someone say like me before. Let's take a look and mobilize. If you want to solve life's problem, want to end suffering, you will have to listen from start to finish. Listen and contemplate until it penetrates deep into your heart. Listen often. But you don't like it, stop listening. No one can help anyone. God can't help. Holy things can't help. Whether the psychologist or psychiatrist or guru or spiritual leader can help you, because these people are suffering too. You only must help yourself. Aha! I say, if you want to solve life's problem, want to end suffering, you will have to listen from start to finish. If you want to solve life's problem, want to end suffering, you will have to listen from start to finish. Listen and contemplate until it penetrates deep into your heart. Listen often. But you don't like it, stop listening. But you don't like it, stop listening. No one can help anyone. God can't help. Holy things can't help. Whether the psychologist or psychiatrist or guru or spiritual leader can help you, because these people are suffering too. You only must help yourself. You only must help yourself. Let's take a look. The thought process create various matter naturally, and various matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. The thought process create various matters naturally, and various matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. I say, the thought process creates various matters naturally, and various matters will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. Every second, the thought processes are changed all the time, but you cannot realize your thought. I say that every second, the thought processes are changed all the time, but you cannot realize. And the OCD, ruminating, repetitive thought, it's just the belief. It doesn't really exist. Okay. From now on, I like to talk about, as I told you, episode 2, the thoughts have no owner. The thought process have no owner. The thought talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. I say that is selfish. The topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must be broad-minded to listen without prejudice to me. You can rely on me because I try to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety in this flight. You know. The thought processes are on duty to think all the time. The thought process cannot be stopped. The thought process is natural. The thought process has no owner. Can you understand me? Where can I find the meaning of suffering, happiness, depression and anxiety, anger? It's just the belief in the meaning of the language. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. And finally, you will have opportunity to attain this flight. Nothing more to say than this. Can you understand me? You know, whether you are Theravada Buddhism or Zen Buddhism, the ultimate goal in Buddhism is attain this flight. My name is Dan Kita from Thailand. I say I'm Arahant in Thailand because I have attained Nirvana for 19 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain this life. Aha! I'm ready to help everyone to solve life problem, to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. You know. From now on, I like to talk about the thought processes are on duty to think all the time. The thought process cannot be stopped. The thought process change all the time. But you cannot realize the thought process. If you can notice the thought change all the time. The following example can help you to understand about the thought processes are change all the time. Let's take a look. Aha. Let's take a look. What you see now is the alphabet in English. What you see now is the alphabet in English. I say A, B, C, D, E, blah, 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 blah. I say A, B, C, D, E, F, blah, 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 blah. Can you understand me? You know, when you read the first letter in English is letter A. The second, the B, C, D, you know. When you read the first letter, the thought process are on duty to think. I say A, and then the thought process or the thought change to say the word B, and then first thought, the thought process say the word A. Second thought, the thought process say the word B. And the third thought, the thought process say the word C. And the fourth thought, the thought process say the word D. From letter A to letter B, the thought process change 4 times. From letter A to B, the thought process change 4 times. Can you realize your thought? I say A, B, C, D, E, F. From letter A to D, the thought process change 4 times. That means when you read A, B, C, D, the thought processes are on duty and change all the time. The thought process cannot be stopped. The thought process has no origin and destination. I said it. Make sense? Right. I said it. Make sense? Right. And you have never heard someone say like me before. As I told you, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every thought I convey. Can you understand me? No one suffers, no one is happy, as I told you, because our true self is doesn't really exist. What you see over here now from birth to death, I say, nature, this is nature, and this is the nature. What you see is nature. It doesn't mean a man who is standing. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. This is nature. It doesn't mean a guitar. It doesn't mean a cat. It doesn't mean a bottle of water, but you were taught to believe. What you see now, this is a white lion, this is a goat, a cat, a tiger, a bottle of water. No, they all is just to believe in the meaning of the fictional language. As I told you, episode 1. Our true self, it doesn't really exist, but please believe temporarily. The language was created by humans on the search for communication, understanding temporarily. We use the language from birth to death until we believe it's true. Where can I find the meaning of the language? But in this video, please believe temporarily. Please believe temporarily. The language I use in this talk is clear that further understanding each other in this video in order to not have to understand each other anymore. Again, I say, let's take a look. I say, when you say the word A, B, C, D, the thought process are changed 4 times. Can you realize your thought? If you can notice the thought talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. The thought never talk to anyone. Because the word I, you, we, they, he, she is I, you, we, they, he, she is those, that's them. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. I, you, we, they, he, she is. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. It doesn't really exist. What you see now in reality, it doesn't mean letter A, letter B, letter C, blah, blah, blah. You were taught to believe this is letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D. Where can I find the meaning of A, B, C, D? It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Oh, I said it as sound weird. Make sense, right? I said it. Make sense, right? And because you have never heard someone say it like me before, as I told you, the story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most wisdom and want to attain knowledge, right? If you can understand in this talk, I believe that you can overcome suffering, you can overcome depression and anxiety in this life. As I told you. And the following example can help you to understand about the thought process are changed all the time. The thought process cannot be stopped. The thought process change naturally. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process has no owner. The thought process change all the time. The thought process has no owner. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth because our true self, it doesn't really exist. Depression and anxiety, ruminating, repetitive thought, it's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Something which happened in your thought. Something which happened in your thought. It's happened to the thought. To learn doesn't mean to manage. Something which happened in your thought, it doesn't have the language to say. But we name it suffering, happiness, ruminating, repetitive thought, anger. Where can I find the meaning? Where can I find the meaning of anger? Where can I find the meaning of suffering? Where can I find the meaning of ruminating? Where can I find the meaning of repetitive thought? It's just the belief in the meaning of the language. Something which happened in the thought. I say, something which happened in the thought, it doesn't mean your thought. Something which happened in the thought talk to the thought talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. The thought never talk to anyone. Never talk to someone. Can you understand me? Because what you see over here now, it doesn't mean anything. We are not human beings. What you see now, what you see over here now is mental phenomenon. In reality of true Dhamma in Buddhism, we call something which happened to the mindful awareness from birth to death. There is only the nature. And now, this is nature. Nature is aware of nature. What you see over here now, I say you see in the way you see, and you hear in the way you hear. Can you understand me? Okay. From now on, I'd like to talk about the thought processes change all the time. For example, okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What you see now is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. When you count a number, the first number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. When you count a number, at first, the thought processes are on duty to think naturally. And the thought process say 1, and then say number 2, and then 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. That means the thought processes or the thought change all the time. At first, the thought process say the word 1, and then the thought change to say 2, and then the thought change to say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. Can you understand me? Make sense? Right? Again, at first, the thought say 1, and then the thought change to say 2, and then the thought change to say 3, 4, 5. Can you understand me? I say this. Make sense? Right? Aha! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From first to 10. The thought process change 10 times. Can you realize your thought? I say this, that is self-real, because you have never heard someone say it like me before. The right understanding in this video can help you to overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. I say the right understanding in this video can help you to understand, can help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. Can you understand me? I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. The thought process change all the time. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. It's not yours, just mine. The thought process has no owner. The following example can help you to understand the power. The thought process change all the time. For example, I show you the sentence, I love you. The sentence, I love you, consists of 3 words. The first word is the word I, the second word is love, and the last is you. I say, the sentence of I love you consists of 3 words. When you say the sentence I love you, the thought process change 3 times. At first, the thought process think to say I, and then change to say the word love. And the last word is you. The third person say you. I love you. From the word I to the word you, the third person change all the time. It takes time within a fraction of a second. As soon as you see this word, we know that you can read it. Within a fraction of a second, you can know it. The sentence, I love you, what does it mean? There will be something which happened in your thought. Something which happened in your thought, it doesn't mean anything, but we name it. The meaning of I love you happened in your thought. The meaning of I love you happened in the thought, through the thought. It doesn't mean happen in your thought because I, you, we, they, this, that, those, he, she. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. As I told you, our true self is not really exist. I told you. The right understanding in this video can help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. I say, the sentence, I love you. The sentence, I love you, I say, the sentence, I love you consists of three words. The first word is I, the second word, love, and the last word is you. From the word I and the last word you, it takes time. Within a fraction of a second, but you can realize your thought. That the third person changes all the time because the third person is natural. As soon as you see the sentence which wrote that, you can read it. Within a fraction of a second, the third person changes 3 times within a fraction of a second. Again, as soon as you see this, you can read it. You can read it. That means the thought process changes 3 times within a fraction of a second, but you cannot realize your thought. And the most important is, you have never heard someone say it like me before, as I told you. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, the right understanding in this video can help you to overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. The topic to speak in this video, I say, depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought. I say the word, the sentence I love you, you can read it. As soon as you see the sentence which wrote that I love you, you can read it. There will be something which happened in the thought. It doesn't mean your thought, but please believe temporarily. If I say the meaning of I love you happened in your thought, but in reality, it doesn't mean your thought. The meaning of I love you happened in the thought. The meaning of I love you happened in the thought. It doesn't mean your thought, but in this video, may I say the meaning of I love you happened in your thought temporarily. That first understanding is in this video in order to not have to understand each other anymore. I say the meaning as soon as you see this word which wrote that. But in reality, as soon as the thought see this word, it doesn't mean you. It doesn't mean you see this word. As soon as I say, please believe temporarily, the language I use in this talk is real. Please believe temporarily. The language I use in this talk is real. That first understanding each other in order to not have to understand each other anymore. Because our real, it doesn't really exist. And the most important is the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. This example, I say, please believe temporarily. If I say, as soon as you see the sentence which wrote that, I say, as soon as you see, in reality, it doesn't mean as soon as you see, as soon as the thought see, Can you understand me? As soon as the thought see the sentence below that, there will be something which happen in the thought. It doesn't mean your thought, because the word I, you, we, they, this, that, those, he, she is just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. It doesn't really exist. As I told you, the story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most wisdom. Can you understand me? The full understand is in this talk. I say this that is self-read because you have never heard someone say like me before. As I told you, the right understanding in this talk can help you to overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. You can rely on me. I try to help you. Can you understand me? I teach you for free, no charge. I say, as soon as the thought see this, there will be something which happen in the thought. It happen to learn. It doesn't mean to manage. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process has no owner. I say, the word I, you, we, they, he, she, is, it doesn't really exist. What you see over here now from birth to death is just the nature. This is nature. Nature is aware of nature. This is nature. What you see over here now, this is nature. Nature. Nature is aware of nature. This is nature. 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 What you see over here now from birth to death, we call the nature. Everything on this earth is soulless. It's not an ego. Because our true self is not so really exist. You know. If I say, as soon as you see this word, which wrote that, I love you, please believe temporarily. It's real. Please believe temporarily. But in reality, as soon as the thoughts see this word, which wrote that, I love you, there will be something which happened in the thought. The matter in the thought, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. There will be something, there will be the matter in the thought. The matter which happened in the thought, it doesn't have the language to say. It has no meaning, but we name it love, anger, suffering, depression and anxiety, ruminating, repetitive thought. No, that's all. That's all. It doesn't mean anything. Something which happened in the thought from birth to death. It's just a thought. That thought is thought. That thought never talk to this body. What you see now, it doesn't mean the body. It doesn't mean true self. We call this is nature. Nature moves naturally. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. No. It doesn't mean a man who is standing. I say, this is nature. Nature moves naturally. It doesn't have the fictional language to say nature moves naturally. You know, if I say, when the matter in the thought, if the matter in the thought is pleasing, you want to keep it for a long time. Oh, if the matter in the thought, you want to keep. If the matter in the thought is pleasing, you want to keep it for a long time. Oh, I've been waiting for a girl like you. I love you, na cha, chirak cha. Yeah, waiting. I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. Honey, if the matter in your thought is pleasing, you want to keep it for a long time. But if the matter in the thought is not likable, you want to you want to do like this. You want to เตะแม่งกระเด็นไป If the matter in the thought is not likable, you want to kick it out. You want to kick it out. As I told you. As I told you, let's take a look. Life problem, depression, rumination, repetitive thought, anger, all of which are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of which are the cause of suffering. Can you understand me? If the matter in the thought is pleasing, you want to keep it for a long time. I love you, honey. Yeah, waiting for a girl like you come into my life now. I want to know what love is. You want to keep it for a long time. But if the matter in the thought is not likable, you want to kick it out. No one can help anyone. I told you, as I told you. Life problems, depression, rumination, repetitive thoughts, anger, all of these are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of these are the cause of suffering. Make sense? I said it. Make sense? Right? I said it. Make sense? Right? I say life problem, depression, rumination, repetitive thoughts, anger, all of these are not suffering, but your inability to overcome all of these are not cause of suffering. Please bear in mind. I say this. Make sense? Right? And you have never heard someone say like me before. Please bear in mind. From now on, I like to show you. The thought process are changed all the time. From now on, I have something to show you. The thought processes are changed all the time from day to day. If you are a guitar player, when you play guitar, for example, if you are a guitar player, when you play a guitar, this is acoustic guitar. As first, you hold the C major chord, and then change to play the A minor chord. At first, you play the C major chord, and change to play A minor chord, and to G major chord, F major chord, and E major chord, and back to C. You never use the language. Say to yourself, I play guitar, I hold the C major chord, I change to play A major chord, I change to play G major chord, and change to play F major chord. Not at all. You play a guitar naturally. The thought process are on duty to think and change all the time while you are playing on the guitar. The thought process change all the time while you are playing on the guitar. At first, you play C major chord. You play C major chord like this. When you change from C major chord to A minor chord, that means the thought process are on duty to change, and then change to play G major chord. And when you play guitar solo, you play you never use the language. Say to yourself, I play string bending, and I play string vibrato. You play naturally. You never use the language. Say to yourself, I play a guitar, I play guitar solo. When you play guitar solo, when you play the guitar, while you are playing a guitar, the thought processes are on duty to think and change all the time. The thought process cannot be stopped. The thought process has no destination, has no origin and destination. Can you understand me? I said it. Makes sense, right? While you are playing on a guitar, at first you play C major chord. When you change to play A minor chord, that means the thought change. And then you play G major chord, the thought change. And then you play guitar solo. never use the language, say to yourself, I play string bending and I play vibrato. You play naturally. Can you understand me? In the same way, in every life, if you want to move this chair at first, you use body gesture like this. If you want to move this chair from here to there, that means the thought process are on duty to think and change. You move from here to there. Or at first, you are in a position and then you do it like this. That means the thought process are on duty to think and change. And then you do like this. In the fictional language, we call a man who is walking and then a man who is sitting. The thought process change naturally. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. When the thought change all the time. Even in every life, from birth to death, the thought change all the time. But you cannot realize the thought process. As I told you, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, the right understanding in this video can help you to overcome depression and anxiety. The right understanding in this video can help you to overcome suffering. And finally, you will have opportunity to attain a nice life. Nothing more to say than this. In this video, I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you further saying about the thought process. And the thought process change all the time from birth to death. The thought control the body. The thought control the body to move naturally. I say the thought control the body. That first understanding is in this video. But in reality, the thought process control the nature. The thought process is the nature. What you see now is the nature. Nature is aware of nature. The nature controls the nature to move naturally. The thought process is the nature. What you see now is the nature. The word I, you, we, they, he, she, it doesn't really exist, as I told you. The thought process or the nature, what you see now is the nature. The thought process controls the nature. Move naturally. It doesn't mean walking. It doesn't mean standing. Because nature is aware of nature. The story in this talk is very difficult to understand, or hardly impossible to understand, or you don't want to understand because you have never heard someone say it like me before. I say this. Makes sense? Right. What you see over here now, it doesn't mean anything. Don't say anything. In reality of truth and mouth, we call mental phenomenon or something which happens to the mindful awareness. And this is all I say. This is nature. The thought process is nature. What you see now is nature. There is only the nature happens all the time. There is only the nature happens all the time. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have the language to say. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand this story and consider along, as I said, over and over again until it's go deep into your heart. I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the language to create content and story to talk to you first and about the thought process. And the thought process changes all the time. That first and, Something which happened in your thought, I have something. As soon as you see this word, this word that, there will be something which happened in your thought because you can understand the meaning of fuck you. You were taught to believe. The meaning of fuck you, it doesn't really exist. What you see now, it doesn't mean fuck you, but you were taught to believe fuck you. The meaning of fuck you, where can I find? It's just a belief. Something which happened in your thought. As soon as you see this word, this word that, there will be something which happened in the thought. Something which happened in the thought. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anger. It doesn't mean suffering. It doesn't mean happiness. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process has no owner. Something which happened in the thought from birth to death, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. It's not yours, it's not mine. It's the nature. Nature is aware of nature. Can you understand me? If you can't understand this talk, that means you have mastery and wisdom to the fall suffering. I don't teach you anything. I try to help you to understand about the thought process. Everything is caused by the thought. In this video, I don't teach you anything, but I borrow the language to create content and story to talk to you first, saying about the thought process are on duty to think, and the thought process change all the time. Something which happened in your thought, it will fade away by itself. Don't dealing with anything. Something which happened in your thought, it happened in a short time. Something which happened in the thought, it happened in a short time, and then it will fade away by itself. Don't dealing with anything. Haha. Makes sense, right? Can you understand me? Something which happened in the thought, it doesn't belong to anyone else. It has no owner. Can you understand me? Something which happened in the thought is just a thought, and it will fade away by itself. Don't dealing with anything. No one suffers, no one is happy. Where can I find the meaning of depression and anxiety? Where can I find the meaning of happiness? Where can I find the meaning of suffering? It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. In this video, I try to help you to understand about the thought process. The thought process is the heart of quenching of all suffering. Not more to subtle than this. Please bear in mind. From now on is episode 3. The highest wisdom for quenching suffering is the thoughts are aware of the thoughts. You know, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, as I told you, our true self, it doesn't really exist. What you see or hear now in every life, we call the nature. Now, this is nature. What you see or hear now from birth to death, there is only the nature. Let's take a look. While you are seeing it, you were taught to believe this is a cat, a goat, a bottle of water, a tiger, a blue pen, a red pen, newspaper, a guitar pick. This is guitar pick. Guitar pick. This is guitar pick. Guitar pick. Guitar pick. This is guitar pick. I use the guitar pick to some guitar pick. I use the guitar pick to some guitar chord. as I told you, why you are seeing this, you were taught to believe this is a tiger, this is a bottle of water, this is a cat, a goat, a blue pen, a red pen, a newspaper, a guitar pick, you know. Why you are seeing it? Why you are seeing it? The thought process are on duty to think and change all the time. And you cannot realize your thought. I told you, why you are seeing it? But you can't realize your thought. The thought processes are changed all the time. Change from this to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, to this. Why you are seeing it? You never use the language. Say to yourself, I see a tiger, I see a bottle of water, I see a cat, I see a goat, I see a red pen, I see a blue pen, I see a guitar pick, I see a newspaper. You see in the way you see, because what you see right here now is the nature. Now, the thoughts are seeing. It doesn't mean you are seeing. The thoughts are seeing. Why the thoughts seeing this? The thought never use the language. Say to the thought see a tiger, the thought see a bottle of water, the thought see a cat, see a goat, see a newspaper, see a guitar pick, see a red pen, blue pen. Wow, I say this doesn't sound weird because you have never heard someone say like me before. First of all, you must open your mind to listen with intent, to listen seriously, and try to understand every sound I convey. You know, I'm suffering depression and anxiety. Suffering depression and anxiety. It doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. It doesn't really exist. It's such the false belief. Depression and anxiety, suffering, it doesn't really exist. Because our full self doesn't really exist. I said it. Make sense, right? Suffering, depression, and anxiety, it doesn't really exist. Because our full self doesn't really exist. Suffering, depression, and anxiety is such the false belief. If you are a smart person, I believe that you can overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression, and anxiety in this life. The story in this talk is suitable for only people who have more wisdom. The fools cannot understand in this talk because they lack wisdom and don't understand. Can you understand me? I say why you are seeing, but in reality it doesn't mean you are seeing. The thoughts are seeing. Can you understand me? I say why you are seeing this. You were taught to believe a tiger, a cat, a goat, a bottle of water, a red pen, a blue pen, blah blah blah. You were taught to believe. But in reality, it doesn't mean you are seeing. It means the thoughts are seeing. What you see right here now, I call this is nature. The thoughts is nature. And what the thoughts see over here now is the nature as well. Nature is aware of nature. The story in this talk is very difficult to understand or hardly impossible to understand because you have never heard someone say like me before. Can you understand me? As I told you, our true self, it doesn't really exist. But in this video, may I say, and please believe temporarily, please believe temporarily. The language I use in this talk is real. Please believe temporarily. The language I use in this video is real. That further understanding each other in this video, in order to not have to understand each other anymore. I say this, that is sounded. The story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the more wisdom. I say the story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the more wisdom. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, the right understanding in this video, the right understanding in this video can help you to overcome depression and anxiety. The right understanding in this video, the right understanding is our true self, it doesn't really exist. Suffering, happiness, depression and anxiety, it's such the full belief. Suffering, depression and anxiety, happiness, it's such the false belief. Where can we find our true self? The word our true self, I, you, we, they, this, that, those. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Can you understand me? The language we use in every life, whether spoken language or written language, both of these languages is just the fictional language. The meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist, as I told you. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach each other because there's nothing to teach. And the most important is there's no language to say. I say there's no language to say because the meaning of the language is doesn't really exist. The meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. It's just the belief it's just the belief. Where can I find the meaning of the language? But please believe temporarily in this talk. The language is real. That further understanding each other in this video in order to not have to understand each other. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must be broad-minded to listen and without prejudice to me. You can rely on me because I try to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. Can you understand me? Depression and anxiety, ruminating, repetitive thoughts, suffering, happiness, it's just the false belief. It's just the false belief. It doesn't really exist. If you are a smart person, if you are a smart person, I believe that you can overcome anger and overcome depression and anxiety in this life because you can understand in this talk. Can you understand me? Everything on this earth is soulless, it's not an ego. I forbid you to practice about non-attachment and letting go. I forbid you to practice meditation, mindfulness training. Can you understand me? The best way to end the false suffering, the best way to solve life problem, the best way to overcome depression and anxiety is the right understanding at first. The right understanding in this video is our true self doesn't really exist. Therefore, suffering, depression, and anxiety, anger, it doesn't really exist too. Can you understand me? No one suffers, no one is happy because what you see over here now from birth to death is the nature. This is nature. I say, as I told you, while you are seeing this, you were taught to believe a tiger, a bottle of water, a cat, a goat, newspaper, red pen, blue pen. Where can I find the meaning of tiger, goat, cat, bottle of water, newspaper, a guitar pick? It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. Our true self, it doesn't really exist. What you see over here now from birth to death is the nature. There is only the nature happen all the time from birth to death. You know, something which happen in the thought, it doesn't mean anger, it doesn't mean suffering, it doesn't mean depression and anxiety. It's just the belief in the meaning of the fictional language. And the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. Where can I find the meaning of suffering? Where can I find the meaning of happiness? Where can I find the meaning of depression and anxiety? It's just the false belief. Where can I find? It's just a thought. The thought is natural. The thought talk to the thought. The thought never talk to this body. The thought never say to someone. Can you understand me? The thought is thought. The thought is natural. What you see now is the nature. Now, what you see over here now from birth to death, that is only the nature. Nature is aware of nature. You were taught to believe this is a tiger, a bottle of water, a cat, a goat. Where can I find? Even the word I love you. The meaning of I love you is just the false belief. The meaning of I hate you is just the false belief. And the most important, I like to show you. The meaning of fuck you is just the false belief. The meaning of fuck you, it doesn't really exist. The meaning of I love you, it doesn't really exist. Let's support. As soon as you see this word below that, there will be something which happen in the thought. And as soon as you see this word, there will be something which happen in the thought. And as soon as you see this word, you can read it. You can understand the meaning of it. There will be something which happen in your thought. Because you were taught to believe in the meaning of fuck you. You were taught to believe in the meaning of I love you. You were taught to believe in the meaning of I hate you. Where can I find the meaning of I hate you, I love you, fuck you? It's just the belief. I believe that if you are a smart person and you can understand in this talk, you can overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety in this life. You know, what you see over here now from birth to death, it doesn't mean anything. Can you understand me? Where can I find? The meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. But please believe temporarily in this video. The language I use in this talk is real. That further understand each other in this video in order to not have to understand each other anymore. I say this, that is sovereign, because you have never heard someone say it like me before. If you want to solve life problem, if you want to overcome anger, and the most important is, if you want to overcome depression and anxiety, because the topic to speak in this video, I say depression and anxiety are not mental illness. You can overcome them by being aware of your thought, but at first, you must try to understand this. Our self, it doesn't really exist. And I forbid you to practice about non-attachment, letting go, meditation, and mindfulness training. Can you understand me? Because our full self, it doesn't really exist. What you see over here now, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean material thing. It doesn't mean human being. It doesn't mean an animal. Where can you find animal? Where can you find human beings? Where can you find material thing? It's just the belief. It's just the false belief. The story in this talk is suitable for the people who have the most wisdom and want to attain knowledge is right. If you can understand this talk, if you can understand it in this talk, if you can understand in this talk, that means you have mindfulness and wisdom to solve that problem. That means you have mindfulness and wisdom to to overcome depression and anxiety in this life. What you see over here now, you see in the way you see. But in reality, it doesn't mean you see. It means the thought see. Why the thoughts are seeing this? I say, why the thoughts processes are seeing this. It doesn't mean you are seeing this. I say this as well. I show you like this. I say I show you like this. It doesn't mean a man who is standing. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. I say I show you like this. I show you. I say I show you like this. But in reality, I say I show the thought. It doesn't mean I show you. I show the thought. The thought talk to the thought. I say that is Soviet. I say that is Soviet. You may accuse me I'm a crazy. You may accuse me I'm a crazy man. Why did I say that? Because you have never heard someone said like me before. The story in this talk is suitable for the people who have the most wisdom. What you see over here now from birth to death, it doesn't mean you see, but it means the thought see. What you see over here now from birth to death, it doesn't mean anything in reality. What the thought see over here now from birth to death, there is only the nature. There is only the nature. Now, nature, see nature. This is nature, the nature. The meaning of suffering, the meaning of happiness, the meaning of depression and anxiety, we call the nature. Because the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. The story in this talk is very difficult to understand, or hardly impossible to understand. Or you don't want to understand it because you have never heard someone say it like me before. You know, I have something to show you. Wait a minute, I have something to show you. Aha! Let's take a look. If you want to solve life's problem, want to end suffering, you will have to listen from start to finish. Listen and contemplate until it penetrates deep into your heart. Listen often, but you don't like it. Stop listening. No one can help anyone. God can't help. Holy things can't help. Whether the psychologist or psychiatrist or guru or spiritual leader can't help you, because these people are suffering too. You only must help yourself. Wow! I said it. No one can help anyone. No one can help anyone. The thought processes create various matter naturally, and various matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. The story in this talk I want you to understand about the thought process. The thought process is the heart of quenching of all suffering. Can you understand me? The thought process is the heart of quenching of all suffering. You must try to understand every story I convey in the video. In reality, I don't say anything in this video. I say that is how it. In reality, I don't say anything in this video. In reality, I don't say anything in this video. But I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you for understanding temporarily. I say that is obvious. I say in reality, I don't say anything in this video. In reality, I don't say anything in this video because the meaning of the language cannot describe anything. because the meaning of the language cannot describe anything. Therefore, I don't say anything in this video because the meaning of the language cannot describe anything. Oh, as I told you, the language cannot describe anything. You only must help yourself. No one can help anyone. God can help. Holy things can help. Whether the psychologist or psychiatrist or the guru or spiritual leader can help you because these people are suffering too. You only must help yourself. May I say กราบหนึ่งกราบสองกราบสาม May I say in reality I don't teach you anything in this video. I don't say anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you, first standing temporarily in this video. Please believe temporarily. The language I use in this talk is real. That further standing each other. Can you stand me? In reality, no one suffer, no one is happy because everything on this earth is soulless. How to say it does really exist? The word I, you, we, they, this, that, those, he, she is. It's just the false belief. Even the language I use in this video is just the belief. Please believe temporarily. The language I use in this video is real. That further study is other. I say this, that is sound weird. I say this, that is sound weird. You may assume me I'm a crazy man. No! No. I'm Arahant in Thailand. I'm Arahant in Thailand. You can call me Ajahn Dang Guitar. I'm Arahant in Thailand. I'm Arahant in Thailand. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain man's right. I'm ready to help you to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety. As I told you, no one can help anyone. You only must help yourself. No one can help anyone. You only must help yourself. God can't help. Holy things can't help. Whether the psychologist, guru, spiritual leader can't help you because these people are suffering too. Aha! If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video and consider along as I said over and over again until it's go deep into your heart. Then you will understand it. You know, when you listen to me, you must try to understand every story I convey. When you understand it, may I say, don't believe me, don't conclude, don't deny, and don't teach another. Because I don't teach you anything, but every Dharma teacher on this earth will teach you to believe every story they convey, and you will believe it because you lack wisdom. I say, I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you. First, understanding about the thought process. The thought process are on duty to think and change all the time from birth to death. The thought process change all the time. Something which happened in the thought is happened in a short time, and then it will fade away by itself without dealing with everything. Don't be afraid of it, because the meaning of suffering, the meaning of happiness, the meaning of depression and anxiety is such the false belief. It's such the false belief. It doesn't really exist because our full self, it doesn't really exist. Therefore, the meaning of suffering, ruminating, depression and anxiety, repetitive thought is such a false belief. it doesn't really exist. Oh, I say this. Make sense? Right, I say this. Make sense? Right, because our true self, it doesn't really exist. And the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist as well. I say, I don't teach you anything. When you understand me, don't believe me, don't conclude, don't deny, and don't teach another. Because I don't teach you anything. I say, I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you. Further saying about the thought process, because the thought process change all the time. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought is just the thought. The thought is natural. Now, there is only the thought. There is only the nature now. What you see now is the nature. Now, from birth to death. What you see over here is just only the nature. Now, nature is where nature. From now on, I like to talk about the highest wisdom for quenching suffering is the thought are aware of the thought. But when I say until you can realize your thought. The word until you can realize your thought, it doesn't mean you realize your thought. It doesn't mean you are aware. I say, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, until you can realize your thought, I have to say, until you can realize your thought. But in reality, it doesn't mean you realize your thought, but it means the thought, aware of the thought. Can you understand me? Because our full self, it doesn't really exist. The thought are aware of the thoughts. Can you understand me? How to? For example, may I say, until you can realize your thought, that first understanding is uttered temporarily in this world. May I say, until you can realize your thought, that means you have mindfulness and wisdom to end for suffering, to solve that problem, to overcome anger, to overcome depression and anxiety. May I say, until you can realize your thought. But in reality, the word I, you, we, they, he, she, is, it doesn't really exist. Can you understand me? Okay. The following example can help you to understand about realization of the thought. I say realization of the thought. The thought realize. The thought. Can you understand me? It doesn't mean we are aware. As soon as you see this word, we slow that. Now, please believe temporarily the word a cat is real. Now, please believe temporarily the word cat is real. As soon as you see this word, we slow that a cat, there will be an image like this in your thought because the thought change. The meaning of a cat will lead to what you see now. I say what you see now, but in reality, it doesn't mean what you see now. It means what the thoughts see now. I say the thought, what the thoughts see now. It doesn't mean what you see now. Can you understand me? When you listen to me, you must be broad-minded to listen. And consider along as I said, over again, until it's go deep into your heart. Then you understand it. As soon as you see this one, the thought change because the meaning of a cat will lead to this. That means the thought change from the word cat to what you see now. And as soon as you see this word, we call it goat. The meaning of goat will lead to bah in the same way. A goat the meaning of God will lead to what you see now. In reality, the meaning of God, it doesn't really exist. And as soon as you see this word, which so that a bottle of water, the meaning of a bottle of water will lead to what you see now. Can you realize your thought? A bottle of water will lead to, example about a goat, a bottle of water, a cat. It's really simple to understand. Don't look down on it, because a cat, a goat, a bottle of water can help you to overcome depression and anxiety, can help you overcome anger, suffering. Can you understand me? In this video, I don't teach you anything, but I have to borrow the fictional rank. I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you further about third person. The hardest thing for me is I need the meaning in English to be as close to Thai language that first create content and story about the third person. Can you understand me? I don't teach you anything, and I say I don't teach you anything. I don't say anything in this video. I just borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first about the third person. And I say until you can realize your thought. But at first, you must try to understand every story I convey. I say the right understanding in this video. I say the first one is the right understanding in this video. The right understanding at first, the right understanding is out who self it doesn't really exist. The meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. The language cannot describe anything, because the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. And what you see over here now from birth to death is such the nature. Nature is aware of nature from birth to death. There is only nature is aware of nature. No one suffers, no one is happy from birth to death. From birth to death. There is only nature is aware of nature. No one suffers, no one is happy, because everything on the surface so that it's not an ego. Out who self it doesn't really exist. Therefore, out who self it doesn't really exist. Therefore, suffering, happiness, anger, depression, and anxiety, ruminating, repetitive thought, and so on, it doesn't really exist as well. Please bear in mind.